What's up, Corner 3 Show fans? It's NBA Finals time. My name is Alex.
My name is Ross.
My name is Zach.
And we're in a... This is weird. Zach's over here. Ross is over here. And
it feels good.
We got Mr. Larry O'Brien right in front of us, too. This is the actual Larry O'Brien trophy, too. For those watching on YouTube, for those listening in on iTunes or wherever they can get their podcasts, Larry O'Brien trophy is in studio. But
it's true. Kobe gave it to me.
Kobe gave it to you?
Yeah, personally.
Oh. That's cool. That's interesting. Did not know that.
Yeah,
anyways, we're here. It's May 30th. The final starts in 2 days on Thursday, June 2nd, and we are ready to get rolling. Or June 1st. I'm sorry, it's June 1st on Thursday.
Yes.
And we're ready to get rolling. It's round 3, Cavs versus Warriors. What everyone kind of expected to this point. The playoffs have kind of been a little boring.
Is it kind of, or is it what everybody expected?
I expected it. I mean, did you?
I expected it, yeah.
Did you expect it, Ross?
Yes.
Don't lie.
I mean, we all expected it, but the playoffs should have been better still.
Yeah, the playoffs should have been better. The Stanley Cup playoffs, this is just random. Stanley Cup playoffs have been tremendous, by the way.
Boring. It's not a hockey podcast. Move on.
No, they're definitely fun. Anyways, so let's get right into it. So our first little topic here, or question, I think we just go through these as questions, then go around the room.
Yeah.
We can each ask a question, but... If LeBron wins, if the Cavs win, and LeBron, of course, is victor there, where does he stand? And this is all time in the greats of basketball history.
This would give him his 4th championship, right?
This would give him his, I think this is
2 with Heat,
4th.
4th.
Yeah, 4th. Yeah.
So he'd be what, 4 for 8?
Oh no, he'd be 4 for
6, right?
No. 4 for 7. 4 for 7.
7.
4 for
Right,
7.
sorry.
4 for 7.
4 for 7.
Yeah, lost to the Mavericks, lost to the Spurs, and lost to the Warriors.
Yeah. Okay. Where would that put him all time for?
Yeah, where to put him all time? So Ross and I have you have a top 10. I have a top 10. But I mean, I think the more important is this string of 8 straight NBA Finals, which has never been done before, other than Russell. Pretty tremendous in its own right, and then just level of play, and even though he has 2 superstars on his team, other than himself, still just top notch player.
He would be number 3 for me.
All right, so here, go through your top. Well, let's start. Do you have a top 10, or we have?
I have top 5.
You have a top 5. All right, start with your number 5.
All right, number 5.
Yeah.
I have Magic Johnson at 5.
Ross, I gotta look up my phone.
Yeah, my 5 keeps switching.
You kind of did it in sets, which I like too.
Or should I just do my 5, go
tiers.
down?
Yeah, just sure. Sure, do your 5.
So I got Magic Johnson
At 5.
At 5. Then I have Kobe Bryant at 4.
Yeah. Okay.
Then I have LeBron James at 3.
Yeah.
Kareem, and then Michael.
Kareem, okay.
Michael's
cool.
1. Kareem
Yeah, my
2.
5, I won't put Kobe in my 5, is my number 5. But for me, 5, it's Kobe, Bird,
Yeah.
Kareem, and then Jordan and LeBron. I think I have to be in here.
LeBron's 1 for you?
Michael's always going to be number 1.
Yeah.
Like LeBron's number 2. And to me, it's an era thing. Like, even if he gets 6 championships, if he gets 6 championships, then we can have this discussion, because all the straight finals that he's been to has to put him up somewhere. There. But to me, it's an era thing. Michael's always going to be that guy.
So I took a little bit different approach just because I just have trouble. I think LeBron has so much left in his career. Left to do.
It's
I
only
think
his 14th year.
Yeah, and he's still a young guy, and he still looks like he's got a lot left in the tank. So I don't actually have him in my top 5, but I think he will end up in the top 2. So my 5 is Magic, Bird, Bill Russell, Kareem, and MJ, just because all those guys have obviously been retired. They have a lot of work to show for it. But I'll just say my 10 kind of shows you why. So I have Jerry West at 10. Duncan at 9, LeBron at 8. I think with this finals, I had him pass Duncan and then Kobe and then Wilt. But I think, you have to... There are a lot of people, like Ross said, who grew up in the era of Michael Jordan being the GOAT and who would always be the GOAT. We never really expected anyone to kind of, hit that peak again. And you have to think, if there wasn't a Michael Jordan... we would be saying that there would be no one like LeBron James ever again. And I'm the biggest Kobe fan in the book, but if there was no Michael Jordan, we would probably say that LeBron James is the greatest of all time. There will never be another player as good as LeBron James. If we were watching this.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, but LeBron and MJ are two different players in my point of view. LeBron's more of is closer to Magic Johnson than he is Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
LeBron's more all around everything.
Jordan was a defender and a scorer.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think as just overall career accomplishments, though, I mean, if he wins this year, which would be his greatest victory, I think even bigger than last year, even coming down 3-1, just given that a team that won 76 games just added a top 4 player in the NBA, another MVP, and you were still able to beat them at full strength. But, I mean, this is big for him. There's a lot of cool storylines. We'll get to a couple of them here, but, I mean, I think, and it's funny because we're all Pacers fans here, but I think we're all kind of rooting for the Cavs a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Cavs, because I just can't stand the Warriors.
Yeah, but it's interesting because like 3 years ago we hated LeBron and couldn't stand the Heat and couldn't stand those those super the big three.
I still I still don't want the Cavs to win, but if I had to pick between the two, I'm always going to pick the underdog in a way because Indiana's always been kind of the underdog team, the smaller market. They got to beat the larger market teams, and when the Warriors do what we know that they just did, adding an MVP, pretty much stacking the deck, making it so they should win, you want to pick the other team. So, yeah, it is weird to root for a LeBron team because I've been rooting against him for 7 years.
Yeah, it is weird, right?
But, yeah, I want them to win back-to-back.
Yeah. All right, Zach.
Sorry.
Let's go to question number 2.
Question number 2. What happened to the Durant narrative?
I assume you mean the whole him coming there. It's kind of like a lose-lose for him, right? Like, because if they win, it's like, well, they're expected to win. But if they lose, it's like you went to a 73-win team, you're MVP, and you lose anyway. So is this what you mean by the narrative?
Yeah, and I was also thinking, too, I mean, it's just like no one's really talking about Kevin Durant. I mean, everyone last offseason, it was all about Durant going to the Warriors. You know, is he a coward for leaving the Thunder right after they had the Warriors and, up 3-3? I think they're up 3-1 in the series, I think. But now, I mean, it's all LeBron. It's all LeBron. It's a little bit of talking about Curry. Will he be able to regain his dominance? Scottie Pippen just said that he's not a dominant player a couple of minutes ago on ESPN. So there's, it's all the talk is surrounding LeBron. There's not a lot of talk about Durant and kind of the Warriors. I mean, it's kind of all circulating around the Cavs. I think it's partly because the Cavs have, had a few more bumps in the road than the Warriors. Warriors, it's been smooth sailing pretty much all year.
I think subliminally. I think it's in the back of everybody's mind. It was the beginning of the year. But like this week, now that the finals have been coming up, I thought about that. Like, go listen to Brian Scalabrine on his Sirius show, and he was talking about it, how, you left your team that you were up 3-1 on these guys, and they beat you to join these guys.
Yeah.
So
you better win.
I mean, because you have 4 All-Stars on the starting lineup already.
Yeah.
You had to dump a bunch of salary, and guys come in on minimum salaries just to keep you competitive.
Yeah. I think it's 11 total All-Stars in the playing in these finals. It's almost most of all time.
Really?
11 total?
11 total who have been All-Stars in their careers.
Okay, I got you. I thought you meant currently. I was
Should we try to name them, number them off?
Well, the 4 starters.
Four starters.
Love.
I think David West.
Kyrie, LeBron.
Darren Williams definitely been an All-Star. Richard Jefferson's probably been an All-Star, right?
That's true, probably.
Who we have right now?
Korver was the one year.
Korver was an All-Star. What about was David West ever an All-Star with New Orleans?
That may be the 11th. If there's going to be 11th, it would probably be that.
Yeah, well,
that's all I got. Sorry, I just ran.
Maybe just David West. We have to look it up real quick. I could see him being an All-Star.
2-time NBA All-Star.
Yeah, David West. There you go.
Because he didn't do it with the Pacers.
No, it was when it was with the Hornets with Chris Paul.
That one year, I wanted David West as our All-Star selection instead of Paul George.
What?
I know a lot of basketball. Yeah. Oh. Sarcasm.
All right.
So
I think we can. I mean, it's just there's so much. Other things going on, but also he's got, like you just said, 3 other All-Stars in the starting lineup, and he doesn't have the biggest personality in the world. Yeah. And you've got Curry with him being on every other commercial, and Draymond Green being Draymond Green. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to focus in on one thing with the Warriors, but with the Cavs, it's LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron James.
LeBron James.
Ross, next.
Next question or next topic. Steve Kerr's been out. Has it been the entire playoffs?
Yep. He coached 2 games versus Portland.
Yeah, with the back injury, the disc problem he's having. Mike Brown has stepped in. Thoughts on that? Mike Brown, is he the perennial get a team that's stacked and you get all the wins, but are you actually a good coach kind of thing?
I didn't think he was a bad coach in Cleveland.
No.
I think
he got killed, for those few years though in Cleveland.
It's kind of interesting that Mike Brown is now going against the Cavs in the finals. Team used to coach.
A little revenge.
I didn't think he was that bad in Cleveland. I didn't think he was great. He's kind of like Tyronn Lue.
Yeah.
He's just there to kind of
substitutions and out of timeout.
All right, what's the play, LeBron?
But think about those Mike Brown teams you had to coach. You had
Sasha Pavlovich,
Daniel Gibson. I mean, you had some really rough teams.
What's
Other than the year
name?
they had Shaq, still though. I mean, they had some weird team. Jamal, what was the guy who used to play on the Harlem Globetrotters? Moon, remember
Jamario
Moon? I mean, they had some awful teams that still were able to go places in the playoffs. But I just thought it was interesting. Steve Kerr's still not back. He just had a press conference. I think it was yesterday or today. And, he said he's still just not there yet. It doesn't look like he'll be back for the finals at all, which is just terrible. I mean, considering the job he's done, but he's still around practice, still around the team.
Is he? I think they said. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is he just at the games? He's just sitting in a suite.
I assume he's somewhere. I think he's actually back in the locker room.
Yeah, they've shown some a halftime where he's back there for halftime, but
he could be in a suite. He just comes down. Right before.
I don't know where he's sitting. Yeah. But I mean, what he's going through is terrible, and I mean, it sucks because he's as big of a part of this finals as any of the players are because of his impact on the Warriors. I mean, the Warriors, aside from Durant now, but 3 years ago with Mark Jackson, they had the same exact team, but Kerr made the decision to keep Draymond Green, give him more minutes, and not to trade Klay Thompson when Klay Thompson was on the trade rumors. So he has a big part of a stamp on this team as there is.
Is Mike Brown going to be the next Warriors assistant to get a nice head coaching job?
Probably, it looks like after this. I sat in front of him for the when Butler played Gonzaga and Butler hit the floater to win the game on the buzzer beater. He was sitting right behind.
What openings would be out there?
I don't know. There's none right now. No coaches have been fired yet, right? Not that I can think of.
I can't think of anything. I think he'll probably just hunker down and wait for next year.
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't know if any openings right now.
All right, next. Will there be a round 4 next year? So this is
Cavs Warriors again?
Another Cavs Warriors.
Okay. That's what you meant.
Will there be a round 4 next year? So this is round 3. Will there be a round 4? I think the playoffs will be more competitive next year, but will there be a round 4? Will it just also end up being a Cavs Warriors?
So we talked last time. Warriors have 10 players who are going to be free agents, but it's not the core. It's a bunch of bench guys.
Yeah.
So they'll have to do a little restructuring to get all the same team back, but they'll have the core. So they should be a top team in the West. Cavs have a lot of older guys. LeBron will be a year older, but you've seen LeBron in the playoffs. It doesn't matter. So you want to say yes, but the rest of the league is gunning for him. And everybody's a year older. I don't know. I have to think about that.
I'm going to say yes. I just don't see a clear contender out there right now.
In the West, maybe.
I mean, even the Spurs, I just don't. I mean, I don't think they're going to. Chris Paul will talk about that later in the show, but I just don't see them adding anybody. I don't see the Rockets.
Rockets are a regular season team.
Yeah, I don't see anyone on the Rockets adding to that team with Harden to get them past the Warriors. I just think that these two teams are kind of locked in like a Lakers Celtics rivalry.
Nobody really threatens you in the East unless somebody was to move, a free agent or a trade or something.
Yeah, unless Celtics got PG or Jimmy Butler.
Celtics. But does PG or Jimmy Butler or even Gordon Hayward put you over the Cavs?
They get you close because I think they're also going to make some moves in their front court too. And I mean, who knows how good Markelle Fultz is going to be or if they're able to move anything. I don't know. Isaiah Thomas was out, the last 3 games of that series? I don't know. I mean, you have another year left to jail now that Isaiah Thomas is an MVP caliber player. You don't know.
But that's really the only team that has a shot. I
agree.
And that's if they do something.
Yeah.
Do you think there being a round 4 of this matchup, Warriors-Cavs, does this hurt the NBA?
I hate that question.
That's a big question, I know.
Yeah, I mean, it's stupid because it's like the NBA, this is the best the finals have been in so long. I mean, I guarantee that these finals will receive some of the best ratings of the past 10,
so the first 3 rounds
years.
stink, but the finals are always...
But it's because people and fans know. Yeah. I think that's kind of a good thing, though, because fans
know
what's going to happen. Like, they know what's going on in the league.
The thing is, you got to look at it this way, though. You might think, it's hurting because, the first 2 rounds sucked or whatever, but you got to think... 5-10 years from now, if they go another year or 2 going against each other, what are you going to be talking about?
No one remembers the first rounds. Yeah.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, what are you going to be talking about in the next 5 or 10 years? Oh, I remember when the Cavs and Warriors used to have those legendary battles.
Very much the Celtics like.
Yeah, it really is because you have
this generation's dynasties in the finals.
It's Magic Bird a little bit, but it's LeBron. It's kind of like LeBron versus
whoever,
everybody. Yeah. It is. I mean, and 4 years ago, you couldn't get me to clap for LeBron for saving a person or saving a cat out of a burning tree.
No.
But now, I mean, I just think what he's doing is phenomenal.
Well, I mean, being from Ohio, I always liked the Cavs, but when he betrayed them and went to the Heat, and I hate the Heat already, especially being a Pacers fan, I just couldn't do it. I mean, if going back to the Cavs, I'd still root for him. If he was on the Clippers, I probably would root for him.
Yeah.
Not the Heat.
It's like after 14 years, just now as opposing Eastern Conference team fans, you admire how good he really is.
Yeah.
How amazing it really is that we are witnessing in the NBA with him.
But even with that, ESPN has given the Warriors with the BPI 93% chance to win.
93% chance.
Now another when they were doing another little factor percentage they were doing gave them I think a 75%, but still. Everyone's still favoring the Warriors. And, I mean, you have to, if you just from a statistical analysis looking through the roster, I mean, they have 4 All-Stars, they have 2 MVPs, and they have one of the best, offensive, defensive players in Draymond Green in the NBA.
They had one bad half the entire playoffs.
Yeah.
That's it.
So, I mean, and they're 12-0 right now. And they're both teams are 24, the teams combined are 24-1 entering into the finals. So, you've got a great series right here, so let's break it down a little bit. So we've got 5 little subtopics for the series itself, so we'll get into X's and O's here.
Should we do the fan question?
Oh, fan question, yeah, let's get
So we have a fan question from Jake Masters. It's actually a video question, so we'll have this popping up on your screen here.
For those watching on YouTube, for those listening on iTunes, you'll get it as well.
He's not driving this time. I appreciate him.
He's just laying on his couch.
I think he's trying to be quiet. He doesn't want his mom to hear him.
Hey, that wasn't me, Jake. That was Zach.
3 show. My thoughts for this week, give me a breakdown of the Durant-LeBron James matchup. Who wins it? How you think it plays out? Also, an over-under on how many times Draymond Green leg kicks somebody.
All right, so a breakdown who wins the LeBron-Durant matchup and the over and under, which Jake Masters has at 2.5 right now on the Draymond Green leg kicks.
To the crotch.
To the crotch.
To the crotch. All right, so the LeBron Durant matchup, and this is a great question because it was on ESPN today, I think, on the front page. But there's really no one on the Cavs who can match up with Durant other than LeBron. Yeah. Meanwhile, on the other side, there's, as we're going to talk about in a second, there's like 5 guys on the Warriors who can kind of take their shots at LeBron. So LeBron Durant's going to be awesome to watch for hopefully 7 games this series. I'll kick it to Ross here. What do you think? What do you think on this matchup?
I'm looking forward to seeing it. Durant's been Golden State's rim protector most of these playoffs, and LeBron has been driving to the rim at will. Durant's long. We know it'll be very interesting to see. I don't know. I'm just really looking forward to it, and it will be interesting to see what Golden State does defensively. Are they going to have Durant on him the whole time? Are they going to switch it up and Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, throw him different looks like that, let Durant roam and kind of clean up maybe when LeBron drives, that kind of attack? I think that'd be good to watch.
I think Durant will have a big series. I have Durant probably winning this matchup, not because of anything Durant is doing against LeBron. I just see LeBron getting worn out with Durant, Green, Iguodala, all these guys. Even Klay Thompson can come and body him up a little bit. He's got 4 different guys coming at him. The Cavs got to space out their players, and who's going to guard Curry? Who's going to guard Draymond? Who's going to guard Thompson? Durant's going to have an easier matchup than LeBron is. LeBron's going to get banged up with each guy. So I just see Durant winning the matchup just because LeBron getting fatigued. Yeah,
and I agree there. The only thing I'll say is that I think that this is last year we thought of Game 7, and even the year before, the year that when they lost to the Warriors in the finals, when LeBron carried the Cavs to 6 games when Kyrie was out and Kevin Love was out. I think we're about to watch the greatest finals performance of all time. I just think everything points to it. His regular season was incredible. His playoffs have been incredible. I think we're going to watch just the greatest finals performance of all time. I really think that LeBron James is just going to put on, I don't even know what the stat line is. I'm guessing like 33, 12, or 15 and 12. I just think it's going to be insane. I don't know. And that's my only point to this question, is that I just think LeBron is at another level that we've never seen before.
Yeah.
Even from Michael.
Any more for you, Ross?
No, do it.
All right, so over and under 2.5 from the crotch kicks. I've got under.
Yeah, I've got under too.
I think we're all taking under.
After getting suspended for a game last year, which probably cost him the finals, I think he learned his lesson.
And last year he was saying, "Oh, that's how my body works. That's how it
haven't seen him
does.
do-
My legs are." He hasn't done it
He
once
hasn't done
this
it once
year.
this year.
It's
Yeah.
not that anyone said or shown.
Next up.
Interesting.
So we've got the Curry versus Kyrie breakdown. I think this is a pretty cool thing to break down because last year, Curry, he was hurt a little bit going into the finals, but Kyrie kind of had didn't have his way, but
Upper hand.
I mean, he had the upper hand. He hit the game-winning shot, and he hit the game-winning shot again this year in Cleveland during Christmas Day game, which was a great game. So Curry versus Kyrie, what do you think happens? Does Curry have his revenge?
I'm calling for revenge.
Yeah.
Healthier. Probably ticked off about last year. Because he had one ankle? What's his ankle, right?
Yeah,
He slipped on that wet spot against the Rockets, right?
Yeah, in the series before.
Yeah. And, it's kind of weird. How do I word this? There hasn't been a lot of talk about Steph Curry this year.
Yeah. No, I agree. There.
And, all the stuff I've seen online is, Kyrie.
Yeah. Someone can get
Steph,
tired of that.
Yes. He's like the best shooter in the NBA. Him and Kyrie are 1A and 1B in handles. Yeah. I mean, I see Steph Curry having his way against Kyrie. Kyrie's going to get what he wants to. Steph Curry's not the greatest defender.
No, they both aren't that great of a defender.
No. So it'll just be back and forth, but I see Curry getting his revenge on that one.
I agree.
Yeah.
And it'll be fun to watch.
I don't know. Did you guys see that clip? And this is the only reason I hesitate here. Did you see that clip of, I forgot who was interviewing the Cavs right after they won in Boston in Game 6. Ernie Johnson, and he was interviewing all the Cavs together. And Ernie Johnson brought up, this year, this is the third time he'll be matching up versus the Warriors in the finals. And Kyrie's face was he was so amped and pumped. Like, you could just tell he was shaking his head. He just wanted to play them that second. I don't know. I think part of what, Kyrie feels and Chris Paul feels and some of these other point guards in the league who are, all-star, superstar players is that those guys have been at that level for a while, and then out of nowhere, Steph Curry comes in, and out of nowhere, he's like, the good guy. He's in every commercial. He's the 2-time MVP candidate, and this happens out of nowhere, really. Like, he had a really good season under the last year of Mark Jackson. He had a strong playoffs, but then all of a sudden, boom, he is
like he didn't earn it.
Yeah, I mean, I can just see those guys, getting pissed off, and I think Kyrie might have that chip on his shoulder as well. Of I just got to keep on proving to everyone that I'm better than him, and even though he's in all these commercials and all of that stuff, I'm still better than him.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that too.
I don't know.
There's a certain type of mentality when you've been the MVP candidate and winner.
Yeah,
you're taking your team as far as you can, like Curry has. I just see him having a little bit more, gumption to take it to him this time.
Especially since
Well,
last
what?
year was
Gumption.
Gumption?
You never heard of that word?
Old person,
Never heard of
old
gumption.
person
It's
word.
an old word.
Oh,
Us old farts like me and Ross.
okay. I'll leave that to you guys.
Whippersnapper.
Yeah.
So next is something Zach talked about a little bit, but it's LeBron versus Golden State, the Golden State defense. So, Zach said Clay, Draymond, Iguodala, and then even Livingston. You could throw Ian Clark at him. He's got a lot of bodies he's going to have to face, which is going to be tough because that means fresh bodies to go up against him. We don't have to spend much time here, but so do you think LeBron is ever held under 25 points during the series?
I think he needs to score 25 or more for the Cavs to have a shot.
Yeah.
But I think it would be smart on the flip side for Golden State to vary who guards him like that.
Yeah.
Fresh bodies, like you said, different looks. Wear him down as much as you can.
So do you think he scores under 25 at any point in this series?
Didn't he score 12 against the Celtics?
That
one
really
game?
bad game when they lost?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's like 11 shots that game.
I think he will stop shooting from deep and drive as much as he can.
I don't think there's not a chance he scores under 25 in any game in the series. For
All
me.
right, well, if only the way that he only scores under 25 is if they're getting blown out, and they take him out just so he doesn't get injured.
Yeah, that's probably the only way. I just don't see them in any competitive game where he doesn't at least score 25. I just think he's at an insane level right now. All right, Ross, take the next question.
I agree. So next question, Tristan Thompson, Thompson, versus Golden State's big. So do you think Tristan will have his way on the boards against Zaza and
Probably
David
the
West
best offensive rebound in the NBA, I'd say. He is
Thompson?
he's so good at it. Just wedging guys under.
He's a better Jeff Foster.
So keep in mind, I also saw this today. Zaza Pachulia, when he's on the court for the Warriors, they have their best defensive rating in the NBA. So he's a difference maker, even though he's a brute and probably took out Kawhi Leonard.
Accidentally on purpose?
Yeah, accidentally on purpose. That's how you say it.
I think he won't be like above what he usually does. I think they actually hold him because you got D West out there, you got
JaVale
McGee, you got Pachulia, because
Michael McAdoo. I'm just kidding.
Because who else? I mean, Kevin Love's on the perimeter most of the time, so you're going to have one guy in the paint with Thompson, then you're going to have West and Pachulia or whoever they have down there.
Yeah.
And David West is going to he wants to get a ring. He's lost like $14 million off these last 2 years.
Yeah,
he's true. He has to do.
He's left so much money on the table other places that if he doesn't get a ring, he'll be so bad. But
the only athlete who can compete with Thompson is JaVale. So will he see a lot of time, and the rest is just will those big guys keep him on the ground so that you don't have to worry about that.
And I'm just saying right now though, every time I've said, the Pacers have Roy Hibbert, the Pacers have Turner and Jan, just to keep him off the boards, Tristan Thompson, he always
lights up the Pacers.
That's his thing. I mean, I'm sorry, he can just rebound the crap out of the ball. It doesn't matter if it's a rebound or if it's a tip. And the Cavs shoot a lot of threes, and they're shooting them at a high level. We'll talk about Kevin Love in a second, but he's the difference maker in this because the Cavs need as many extra possessions as possible because the Warriors are going to hit a high percentage of their threes, and you're not going to be able to afford to miss shots and not get second chance points.
And the Cavs take a lot of threes, and threes normally come off the rim a lot more.
Deeper rebounds.
Yeah,
exactly.
Let's see. I just wanted to look something up real quick for playoffs. Currently in this playoffs, Tristan Thompson is averaging 9.2 points and 9.3 rebounds.
Wow.
Over and under on him averaging 10 rebounds a game in the series.
I'd probably say over because he's going to play more minutes. I mean, I think that's the thing with the finals, too. You have to realize that the rotation is going to become even smaller.
Yeah, because right now he's averaging 33 minutes a game.
Yeah, who's the backup big
that's going to go up.
Yeah, so over.
Channing Frye. I mean, they kind of base the floor. So I go over there just because of minutes, not necessarily because he's rebounding more.
And he doesn't get in foul trouble. He's only averaging 2 fouls a game,
which is pretty good for really the only true big on that roster.
Yeah. I'm gonna go under
on rebounds.
He'll average 9 or so, 8, low 9.
I can see LeBron upticking his too, but keep in mind here. I guess we can move on to our next question. Zach, you want to hit that?
Next one is: can Love sustain his play? Currently, 22 points, 12 rebounds versus Celtics, and 53% shooting from the three.
Yeah, so he's had an outstanding playoffs, but also too it goes to the point that this is the first playoffs and season where he's been healthy in a while. Mm-hmm. So even last year, he said he was still dealing with his shoulder and he couldn't really lift. He couldn't really get in the shape he wanted to. He just had to play and kind of practice his way through everything. So he's been outstanding. I think in the playoffs as a whole, he's still shooting 47% from three. So if he's open, he's hitting right now. If he can play this way, this adds something that we haven't seen yet in the 2 previous finals, because obviously in one finals he didn't play, and last year's finals he was still limited. If he can average 20 and 10 even, that changes the series. That changes the series.
It's finally 3 stars versus 3 stars on the other side. Well,
it's the Kevin Love you saw in Minnesota. Yeah. He might do that because he was interviewed. Was it 3 or 4 days ago about being an underdog?
Yeah, I saw that.
And he took offense to that. He's like, I think that's kind of stupid. We're the defending champs.
Yeah.
I forgot they're telling him the over and under everything. He just kept basically pushing it to the side. It's like, come on guys, we're NBA players. Who cares? You know what I mean? Like, so I can see Love probably. I'm gonna say he's an average about. I'm gonna say 15 and 7.
Yeah.
I don't
taking
think,
a big dip.
15 and 7 is not bad, but that's a big difference from that. Yeah. The style of play going from the Celtics to the Warriors is totally different, especially when you're facing one of the top defenses in the league as well. So
yeah. I've just been really impressed with him. I don't think a lot of people are talking about that part of it because he's been playing so well. And you say he's playing well, but you just don't know how that affects the playoffs because now the Cavs really have at least 3 major options scoring-wise in their starting lineup. And last year it was Kyrie and LeBron and then Kevin Love for kick-out, but now Kevin Love can create some of his more offense. And I don't know. I think it could really change the series, and I think the Cavs, that gives them that little extra boost here that they may not they're definitely going to need because they didn't match up against Durant, obviously.
He's the person that they need the most now that the Warriors have Durant.
Yeah, I agree there. Absolutely.
Because if he doesn't do anything, then they're in trouble. If he's on the outside hitting the shots, getting rebounds, then that's going to move West, Pachulia, whoever's on him out. That gives LeBron more chances to drive and dish or just take it himself. So
I absolutely agree there.
He'll be a big difference.
All right, so last question. I think this is pretty interesting. Will the Cavs' older bench be able to stick with Golden State? So up to this point, the Cavs' older bench of Darren Williams, Richard Jefferson, Kyle Korver, and Channing Frye has been able to make do in the playoffs and keep the lead or keep them right there in all these games. But now you have a different animal. You have Iguodala, you have Livingston, you have Clark, you have David West. You have a really good bench unit and one that moves the ball really well in Golden State. And I think this is might be the place where the series is won or lost.
The Cavs bench play.
Yeah.
Cavs versus Warriors. It's experience versus...
Ross has been watching
the highlights.
Ross has been watching these highlights all show long.
Now it's the stupid Warriors highlights.
He has been just dead, just eyeballing these. For those listening on iTunes, SoundCloud, or wherever you get your podcast, we have a TV behind us currently showing NBA highlights. And every time I turn to Ross, he has just been glaring at it, just like it's the prettiest, like it's his wife on just like replay of their wedding or something.
That's not true.
I don't know what's going on over here. Anyways, Zach, I'll turn to you. What do you think about the Cavs old bench? Do you think they can hold up now?
I actually think the Cavs have the upper hand on the bench.
Oh,
on bench units. Just look at the names. You got Darren Williams, Jefferson, Korver, Frye.
But, Ross is focused.
Then you still have Shumpert coming off the bench as well. So
yeah, absolutely.
You look at their bench versus what? You got Clark, Livingston, maybe a little bit of McAdoo here. Iguodala. I mean,
McCall's actually been a decent addition too. The rookie from I think it was UNLV.
But still, you got so much experience, guys. Like Jefferson, he's just there to beat people up towards the end. Yeah. Korver can hit threes, Frye can hit threes, and Darren Williams is an experienced point guard that can get you those minutes to relieve Kyrie Irving. I honestly think the Cavs bench is better than Golden State's bench. Yeah. And I actually think that's going to be a big difference in what's going to keep the Cavs in the series, especially if Kevin Love's struggling. Is when those big-time players go out. I know it won't be for long periods, but when you have a bench unit that can come out there, give your guys some rest, but also can put some points on the board against the Warriors, that's a big difference. And I just there's too much experience in guys who are hungry for that to happen. I can't see like Jefferson or Darren Williams be like, this Clark guy is going to seriously bottom me up coming off the court. I
can see that.
So that's why I think of the benches.
All right, so now we're at the point we broke down pretty much everything here. We talked about where LeBron stands. We talked about Kyrie versus Curry. So who you got? Let's just get down to it. Who do you have, and how many games, and who is your Finals MVP? This is big. Think about this. Just in November we first started this show. Now it's the NBA Finals. Thank you listeners for thank you listeners and viewers for sticking with us this long. But now it's time. This is the biggest pick of the year.
Did we make preseason picks? I'm trying to find out.
Oh, man.
Did we? Let's look this up.
I don't think we did.
While Ross is looking now, I'll go over mine.
All right. So your pick.
When I do these picks, I won the regular season picks. So
he's a genius is what he's trying to say.
Pretty much a genius. I don't go with what I want. I just go with what I know. So I have the Warriors in 6 with a guy wanting to prove everybody wrong and shut everybody up.
Can you repeat that, though? That should be like a bumper sticker. What'd you say?
I don't remember what I said.
What do you say? I don't go off what I say. I go off what
I don't go to what
I
feel. I just go off what I know.
Oh, my gosh. All right. Warriors in 6.
Warriors in 6, and the guy who's wanting to prove everybody wrong because there's so many people hating on him.
All right.
I have Warriors in 6, Kevin Durant, Finals MVP.
Oh, wow. I like that. I like that pick. All right.
That's what I have.
I'll go. I think if you listen to this podcast thus far, you probably know where I'm going here. I have the Cavs in 7. I have LeBron James, my MVP.
I'm perfectly fine with that.
And I just think I think we're about to watch one of the best finals ever. So just make sure you've got some way to watch it and DVR it if you can't.
I just hope it goes 6 or 7 games, which I feel it will. These are the 2 best teams we've watched all year. I'm going to go with Zach.
Warriors
in 6. I want to pick the Cavs because it's LeBron. Yeah. It's LeBron, but Warriors are
LeBron James.
they're stacked.
Who's your MVP?
Who's your MVP? Yeah.
MVP. I think Curry's going to get his MVP this time. He's going to come back strong.
Okay, so other than Curry, Durant, and LeBron, who is your next best pick for MVP? And out of any team. Don't think about who would win. Just think about who do you think is next. Kyrie, Kevin Love, or Thompson or Green are probably the picks. Or you could.
Here's my reason behind this. 2 years ago, Andre Iguodala wasn't doing much. Comes to the finals, all of a sudden he's like their main guy. They needed him for everything. Yeah. Player who has been struggling in the playoffs, still good, but he's not been great. But if he heats up, he's a huge difference maker. Klay Thompson. That's who I have. Just because he's been so quiet in the playoffs.
I can see that. If he has like a couple, like 3 breakout games, including the closing game, I can see that.
It's like he can get hot in a second. What game was it? Like it was a year or two ago where he scored like 30-some points in a close.
It was in December 40. When he scored 60 points in 30 minutes against Pacers.
Oh, there we go. That's why.
Look at Ross bringing out his old notebook.
I don't go by what I feel, go by what I know.
For those who only listen on iTunes and never watch us, Ross has a nice sturdy. I'll knock it for. That's a nice little journal notebook here. He keeps all of his notes. Ross is the most studious of the group. I still
lost in the pick'em. It doesn't matter if
the notes.
Championship.
Is that a U for like Miami?
W.
Oh, it's a W. Okay,
Come on,
I was confused there.
Miami.
All right, so we've got our picks. The finals are coming. We're excited. So now let's just talk a little NBA stuff. Not much going on, obviously, because all finals related. But one thing we didn't cover in our last show, and happened I think the day after, was the All-NBA teams were announced. And Paul George was of course, snubbed. Really wasn't close if you looked at the total votes from the All-NBA teams. Ross, you want to go through the All-NBA teams while we have a shot?
Yeah, so first team, Kawhi, LeBron, Anthony Davis as the center, Harden, and Westbrook were the 2 guards. Mm-hmm. Second team, they gave it to Durant, even after missing all that time for injury. All the time. Giannis. Gobert was the second team center, probably for his defensive, which he may win. We'll see. Joke. Curry and Isaiah Thomas round out the guards. And third team, we all thought Paul George has a good shot to sneak in there. They gave it to Butler and Draymond Green. Mm-hmm. DeAndre Jordan won center, which I did. Why? Because he's a all-star.
They need to get rid of the center, which I think is everyone's pretty much.
It's just because like who we gonna throw out there? There's not.
Yeah, there's been arguments about getting rid of the center and just do the top 15, or you need the center because that is how the positions are on the floor. Or just go 3 forwards and 2 guards, or just figure something out. It's weird. Stupid. And the last 2 guards, John Wall and DeRozan, snuck in there and got the last spot.
I know Zach wasn't happy about DeRozan,
and I got I wasn't looking at the stinking positions. These guys are Toronto fans were tweeting me like, "Oh, you're an idiot. DeRozan's a guard. He's a forward. Oh, you're stupid." And I'm like, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying in general, DeRozan. Like,
wait, I love this though. We're now at the point where, like, when we have hot takes and we tweet about them or we talk about them on the show, people come at us because the Corner 3 show is not just a USA show. We're global. Yeah, we're in Canada. We're not.
I couldn't believe that my tweet got so much attention. I was like, what the heck?
Zach was like, I didn't know I was this popular, the kid in the class, but I am.
I literally didn't. I didn't reply. I was just like, I'm not even going to get into this. This is stupid.
He's like, Canadians. Hey.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, you guys are supposed to be nice. What's going on here?
Yeah.
What happened to the nice part? Oh, man.
So does that hurt Paul George? I know we've decided not to talk about this, but we got to bring it up in this instance. Yeah. Does this affect that decision at all now that he doesn't get the extra $70 million?
The only reason I'll say no is because his trade value has significantly diminished since the trade deadline. Because now, it sounds like Boston's really set on Markelle Fultz. It sounds like the Lakers are set on Ball. And it sounds like none of those teams are going to be moving. And like, what could we really get in return for Paul George, especially when it's just a 1 year on his next contract?
Especially it's down when there's these rumors going around that him or his agent are telling the Lakers, don't use all your assets to get me. Just let me wait for me to come next year,
But at the same time, I think that the Pacers just say, hey, listen, you didn't make it this year. Just let's get it done next year. Let's make sure you get All-NBA next year.
It's
and let's sign the contract.
To wait for him to get that for sure.
But I think that's what they're going to do. And I think he's going to get it next year. And I honestly believe he's going to re-sign with the Pacers. I think that there's not been a definitive statement from him or his agent. It's all been rumors from Hoops Hype to who knows what. Until Woj tweets out that Paul George is actively looking to be on the Lakers next year, I think that he's going to get All-NBA next year, second team, and I truly believe he'll re-sign with the Pacers for the $75 million more he can make here in Indiana.
If you want some more deeper Pacer breakdown with that, I recommend the Miller Time Pod. Their last show, they broke down all the different trade routes and possibilities with the Paul George situation, Boston, L.A., other teams, Atlanta, etc. And there's a lot of interesting thoughts in there, but yeah, it's going to be interesting.
I think for the most part, what Pacers fans need to know is that I don't think anyone really expects them to make a move unless it happened on draft night, unless Danny Ainge got desperate, like he did a couple years ago with Justice Winslow when they offered like 4 picks for Justice Winslow and Horn still said no. Because his trade value has so significantly diminished because now he only has 1 year left on his deal. And teams know that he doesn't qualify for the Supermax currently.
That actually goes into the fan question. You want to talk about that?
Oh, yeah, go ahead. You got it.
So who could the Pacers get in return for PG? What are the top 5 potential teams to trade with for Paul George, and how likely is any of that actually going to happen?
Well, 2 teams right away are Boston and LA. Everybody knows that.
Looks like both teams are fine with drafting their guys right now, though. You know?
Yeah. I mean, a dark horse out there could be the Clippers.
Yeah.
Another LA team.
Atlanta, but they supposedly offered those 4 first-rounders. The Nuggets got a lot of assets, but those are all rentals, and would Paul George want to stay there long-term? Probably not.
No.
I don't know. I mean, besides those 2 teams and maybe the Clippers or something, I just don't see it happening.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think it'd be interesting. The only thing I can think of is because both Boston and LA will be drafting guards, and both teams have quite a depth at the guard position currently, is the only reason I can think that something on draft night could happen. Obviously, everyone's talking about can Markelle Fultz play with Isaiah Thomas, and then in LA, I think Magic Johnson just said a couple days ago. Did you see that he said Brandon Ingram is the only player on the team that's untouchable. So Russell, Clarkson, all those guys. I think Clarkson's an absolute knucklehead. So I really don't want. I think both of them are knuckleheads. Shout out to my dad for giving me the term knucklehead that I always have with me.
I think best case scenario, if the Pacers are going to look to trade Paul George, and I don't want them to, and I think it'd be smart for them to do all they can to keep him, and he's going to stay.
I agree.
My gut says. But best case scenario is somehow deals with the 1 or the 2 pick, most likely the number 1 pick with Boston. You draft the point guard, you draft Fultz, because then Teague can go somewhere else. You don't have to worry about re-signing team. You don't have Paul George's money. You don't have Teague's money tied up. You now actually have a little bit of cap space. A lot of fans are saying, "Ooh, go after like Gordon Hayward," which I don't think is going to happen. But now you have some room to get a couple guys or some players.
Which I'm fine with not resigning Teague. That's just me, though.
Yeah. Teague will come back if Paul George comes back. I feel like you almost have to do that. You want Joe Young as your star?
The amount of money you're going to pay him, I don't think he's worth it.
I don't know. There's still. I think after the draft is when all these dominoes are going to fall. But I just think the Pacers are best off. You screwed up by probably not trying to get Paul George to sign a contract earlier, like 2 years ago, before the Supermax was even a thing. But at this point, you have to, just hold your cards here, and hopefully he gets the Supermax next year, and hopefully he thinks that $75 million is a lot of money to stay in Indianapolis, and he resigns.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. So we covered that. So the next kind of hot topic, but I think today there's actually some news I'll talk about in a second that kind of diminished this a little bit. But CP3 to the Spurs. So Chris Paul, obviously they've had a couple years there in LA, and they haven't really gotten anything done there. Still haven't gone to the conference finals. Do you guys think this is a real possibility, CP3 to the Spurs? So there'd have to be a lot of roster reconstruction on the Spurs. And Dwayne Dedmon today just picked up his player option, but still the Spurs can try and move him. Yeah, he just picked it up today. A
couple hours ago.
Oh, I thought he was going to forgo and go into free agency.
So he picked it up, and so there's still a lot of noise. So that kind of tells me that the Spurs maybe said, "Hey, pick it up. We're not going to go after CP3. Just come back. We'll re-sign Simmons to 10, 12, whatever he's going to make." I just don't see that.
He opted for free agency.
Today he did?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He signed.
No, he decided to go to free agency. That's what I thought I saw earlier.
Okay. Yeah. Well, CP3 to the Spurs, you think all-star point guard, their point guard's aging, they could use that kind of player. But I really don't think
that's
CP3
so weird.
is a Spursy type player, is my biggest thing on
I think it'd be an awesome fit.
Yeah.
I just don't think
I
that
just see
he
him
and
melding
Pop
with
will
that
get
system
together.
very well, right?
I don't know.
Spurs are like our way or the highway. Follow how we done things all these years. And
He could be the point, though. Man, I've been in this league so long, I haven't done jack.
I
think it's true, though.
I would love to see him on because then we get a West
Well,
contender.
the other
out
big
there.
rumor right now is that Melo with the Clippers is, a big thing too. I mean, which should have been done years ago, considering, both teams are just in a loop. But I don't know.
I mean, yeah, because he's not really tied to New York that hard anymore since I think he's getting a divorce, isn't he?
Actually, it looks like they're gonna hold off until as long as they can. I just thought that too. But maybe I'm wrong again because
I mean, I was on TMZ earlier. Let me look at this.
I don't know
everything.
I don't know. This is bad. All right, but I think shout out to Evan Murray who may or may not listen to this podcast, but he's a big Spurs fan.
Oh, you're right.
And I don't know. Maybe they're reconsidering. Who knows? It's TMZ. I mean, we have better sources here at the Corner 3 show. But who knows there? And then last thing, Zach, you got this. Well, do you know the context of this?
Which one, the Stern or the LeVar?
The Stern thing.
Oh, they were saying Stern had brought up that. The title is Stern Kupchak panicked for traded for Odom. He said the trade for Chris Paul would have gone through, but it was actually Kupchak that got scared at the last minute and panicked and decided to do a different one.
Yeah.
Why do you get scared?
So originally, Stern vetoed the trade, but then he said in this podcast that came out this week, Stern said that maybe they could have reconstructed the deal in a way that could still, Chris Paul still could have gone to L.A., but then Kupchak panicked because the trade didn't go through and said panic traded Odom to the Mavericks. But this is, the only reason we're talking about this is because, this could have changed the NBA because then you would have, at that point, you have Chris Paul, Kobe Bryant, Dwight Howard, and Chris Paul.
I thought Powell was on the team.
Oh, Powell, yeah, Powell too. So you have, like a team that no one would have thought of, and that's before Kobe Bryant tore his Achilles. So that's the only reason we bring it up. And I think it's kind of ridiculous for Stern to be talking like this anyways, in a sense.
Well, he's always been blamed for that ever since it happened.
Yeah. So he's maybe just
like,
trying to write off before he writes his biography.
Yeah, or he's getting ready to write one. He wants more attention.
We actually have breaking news,
My
though.
pocket just vibrated.
Here on the Corner 3 show, Ross.
CJ Miles officially declines player option and is becoming unrepstricted free agent.
I
breaking
thought about
news.
that just because. Did you see Lavoy Allen's comment on his Instagram earlier?
Yeah, it doesn't look like CJ's coming back.
He's like, your former teammate. If you want to work out, pause.
He was making $4.8 million this year as a good shooting guard in the league. He'll make more than that.
And the thing is with this, I don't think he'll be making 15 or 20. I think he'll be making 10 or 12.
9,
but still,
10,
I could totally see the Magic or someone stupid overpaying for him.
The Blazers gave Crabbe how much? 15, something crazy like that.
Yeah,
that was. Think about
Miles has a shot at making some good
I
money.
can. I will call it now.
31-32 though.
32.
I will call it now. Someone will give CJ Miles a 4-year, $48 million contract at least for $12 million a year.
Same thing Reg's going to get. Reg's going to get up there or something too, 4 years, 60. All right. Well, our last question of the day. I think we can all just do this in unison. Will LeVar Ball ever shut up? No.
No.
He will not. No. He's an idiot.
No.
Stay in your lane. Okay.
I watched. Lost by 50.
Did you see? Have you seen the LaMelo Ball lowlights where he went it's the caption is when you make an NBA 2K player but his rating is 55. I could watch that video on repeat.
Shooter's gonna shoot.
Yeah, shooter's gonna shoot. He just.
That was so bad.
That's what happens when you teach your kid to just not care what anyone says. And just,
AAU ball.
Lonzo will not work out for the
Okay,
Celtics.
if you want to know everything that's wrong with the Amateur Athletic Union, or AAU, just watch that low light video. There are kids on the court. At one point, LaMelo Ball turns the ball over because a kid has his arm out on the court and the ball hits his hand. It's just a joke. And there's not even a 3-point line because they're playing on a side court.
Yeah, side court. Yeah, I saw that.
So if you want to know what's wrong with AAU and why every NBA player and every former NBA player bashes AAU, just watch that video. But yeah.
All right. Was that end it for us?
I think that ends it for us.
Yeah.
Sweet. Everyone say goodbye to Alex.
Well, for in studio Alex, maybe we'll have like
for
a little
live Alex.
Maybe we'll have like a little box with like Alex's face.
We could do
that
Skype
picture.
and we'll put it on the TV.
Yeah.
And see his
Yeah.
face.
Maybe we could do that.
Although the quality
HDMI or
was
But
something.
pretty
then
bad.
that would only be Ross looking at the screen the entire time like today.
I get very distracted.
Ross, squirrel. That's what happens when he's playing with his son Everett. He's like, squirrel. Oh no, I gotta watch.
I
the kid.
revert
Watch
to
the
a
kid.
4-month-old. Yeah, I act like that. So next time you hear Alex's voice, will probably be over the phone. Or some other type
It'll
of
be good though.
encryption.
So what I was thinking is, I'll just record it on my Mac and then send the file like I did earlier. So that's
We'll get it figured out. We'll get it. Alex is
figure it
going
out.
to the faraway city of Chicago.
It's really far away
For the summer.
I'm going to break down all the Bulls stuff. I might start a Bulls podcast. No, probably.
Oh,
I definitely will be doing that. But we'll be checking on the finals. I mean,
Probably free agency draft.
yeah. I mean, we'll definitely have a check in
definitely doing a
during the
draft
finals.
thing.
We're definitely doing a draft thing. We're definitely doing like an off season thing.
Like everyone's speakerphone.
Don't worry about it. We'll be right here, people. We're here.
Yeah, we are here.
We're here to stay.
We're going to stay, and you can find us on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play,
Instagram, Twitter.
You know it all.
All
more.
those things.
Yeah, I'm having a bug
Facebook
right now.
supposedly.
Oh wait, is Ross been banished from his role as social media publicist?
Did I get fired?
It's probably a good idea.
Oh, he kept going with it too.
I was doing good.
No, he was doing good. We're just
Except for
kidding.
today.
We're doing good. But yeah. Oh, also, Indy 500. That was awesome for those people who watched it. We're Indiana. Well, Ross and I are Indiana guys. I'm actually the only Indy guy. True.
That's true.
Never mind. I didn't even should bring it up. You guys are just trade. I don't even know what you guys are.
It's all right.
Get out of here. Shout out to Jeremiah Johnson, who's hopefully listening to this because he's like our biggest celebrity fan.
He says he
Jake
does.
Masters.
He says he does. Besides Jake Masters. Besides Jake Masters. But that does it for us on the Corner 3 Show NBA Finals Edition. See you next time.
Peace.